Greetings everyone, and welcome to my review of Sonic the Hedgehog issue 85 and the epilogue to Sonic Adventure. Well, the epilogue for Sonic and his cast. Knuckles and his got theirs last time. You might say, wouldn't this work as part of the Sonic Adventure adaptation, and that you prematurely scored it without input from this issue? Arguably, yes. There are enough game elements that this could be considered part 8. At the same time, the tale is original, and I've always believed that the Super Sonic vs. Perfect Chaos fight is the finale. Too bad in the comics, Knuckles was the one to end the Perfect Chaos threat. Anyway, while Knuckles went off to finish his subplot, let's see how our heroes handle things post-Chaos. We start with an angry Eggman in Final Egg. He's mad because he lost the mighty Chaos thanks to Sonic. First of all, Eggman, Chaos made it clear it had no further use for you 2 issues ago. And second, and I'll continue to point this out, Knuckles was the one who defeated Chaos. Although in universe, Eggman didn't actually see Knuckles finish the job, all he saw was Perfect Chaos fighting Super Sonic. And Eggman's the kind of guy that would rewrite things in his head. He's that egotistical. The point is, Eggman hates Sonic, and he plans to unleash a robot to attack him. We head over to Station Square, which is still showing damage from Chaos's attack. On the bright side, it's no longer flooded. The mayor is throwing a big farewell celebration for our heroes, but it's interrupted by the arrival of the robot, Silver Sonic 2. I'll explain the reason for the name later. It's programmed just to attack Sonic, as demonstrated by the missiles it fires following the Hedgehog as he speeds away. Well, that's good, at least no one else will get hurt. That is until Tails and Big get involved. Big? I don't know if a fishing line could keep Silver Sonic 2 at bay, but A for effort. Silver Sonic 2 knocks Tails into Big, and Sonic is not pleased at this. The fight takes them into an abandoned building. I assume it's abandoned given what happens next. Silver Sonic 2 starts ripping the pillars apart, leading to the building collapsing on them. Eggman, who's watching this, notes that Silver Sonic 2 will emerge triumphant. Although Eggman should know by now, it'll take more than a collapsing building to stop Sonic the Hedgehog. The Freedom Fighters, and us, learn that he survived by burrowing underground. He then emerges and grabs the robotic doppelganger's leg. During all this, Nicole's been doing some analysis. She deduced that this robot is an upgraded version of a previous super robot Sonic fought sometime in the past. Again, I'll explain later. Also, its power supply is infinite. Having an infinite power supply is impressive, but its aiming could use some work. Tails catches Sonic, and the foot Silver Sonic 2 blew off hits Tails in the head. Whether he forgot to look up, or Silver Sonic 2 threw it at the fox, who's to say? Sonic again does not like seeing his friend hurt, and decapitates the robot. Well, it's one way to channel your anger. Eggman's not happy with the results. However, he plans to salvage the situation. He placed a tracking device on Silver Sonic 2, and once the Freedom Fighters leave, he'll track down and repair the robot, and hope to conquer a weakened Station Square. The Freedom Fighters say their goodbyes to the mayor and Big the Cat before leaving in the Freedom Fighter Special. They don't get very far as the craft spirals out of control and crashes. Don't worry, everyone's fine. Sally sends Sonic and Tails to scout the area, while Nate Morgan reveals that the crash was caused by sabotage, and fears that the saboteur is still out there. And indeed, said saboteur is hiding from the passing Sonic and Tails. Yeah, you can barely see the red eyes in the blackness here. Meanwhile, Eggman's tracking Silver Sonic 2 in Station Square and finds it, fully repaired and ready to attack him. To make sure Eggman doesn't take advantage of Station Square once the Freedom Fighters left, Nate Morgan repaired and reprogrammed the robot to be the city's protector. The story ends with Silver Sonic 2 chasing Eggman out of the city. We have a short backup story featuring our old friend Rotor, who left the Freedom Fighters in issue 72 to check up on his family. We catch up with him in his bathysphere, which is damaged and flooding. As he tries to repair it, and also calling for help, he looks back on how he got here in the first place. He returned home after getting the news from the Arctic Freedom Fighters that the walrus herd is no longer under Robotnik's control. And for a time, things were good, until one day the herd's under mind control again and attacks Rotor. He escapes, but his bathysphere was damaged in the process. With the vehicle beyond saving, Rotor escapes and passes out in the water. The Arctic Freedom Fighters rescue him, and both parties realize why the herd's acting this way. Robotnik has returned. Rotor's tale is a tragedy. When you think he's finally got his happy ending, this happens. Robotnik's death being the reason the herd's no longer under mind control is fine, but I've read somewhere the Ultimate Annihilator was the true cause, which actually kinda makes sense. The malfunctioning device caused the Robians, in Robotropolis at least, to regain their free will. Perhaps a similar effect happened with the all-organic walrus herd. And when Eggman arrived and regained control of the Robians, so too he regained control of the herd. The art's done by Diamond Rose Studios and from what I could find, only contributed to this story, which is odd since I kinda like it. Rotor's tale gets a 7. For a 4-page story, it's surprisingly well paced. It continues a subplot that began in issue 31 and brings back the Arctic Freedom Fighters in their entirety. Members Sela and Augustus have previously appeared in issue 32. The story also provides a reason for Rotor to rejoin his friends, though it will take a while for him to reach Nonhole given his bathysphere is a wreck. Our feature story has Eggman unleashing Silver Sonic 2 to attack our heroes in Station Square, which is a smart move. The city is still vulnerable thanks to Chaos, and it's probably using backup power now that the Super Emeralds are out of the equation. The robot itself is based off the black and gray one from Sonic Adventure's Final Egg hub area. All it does in the game is hang around in the tube, giving the base some form of flavor. Here, it's actually given purpose. I love how game assets are given better uses in other media. The reason for the name Silver Sonic 2 is because, in-universe, it's an upgraded version of the robot from the Death Egg saga. Game and meta-wise, the only commonality they share is they're a killer robot in the form of the hero. While this is true in the comic verse, I can see Eggman taking what worked in the previous model and make some improvements, while changing things up like size, maneuverability, and appearance. After all, in real life, newer models of cars and other devices often change appearances as technology upgrades. The fight itself is alright, Sonic taking advantage of his hedgehog nature at times, and being the one that takes the thing down, as it should be. I'll give brownie points to Tails and Big for trying to help, while the other Freedom Fighters just stand there. I guess they lost their mojo after saving the civilians in issue 83. Though I'll give Nate Morgan a brownie point for making Silver Sonic 2's Station Square's protector, as seen at the end. This explains why Eggman won't attack the city again in the immediate future. He more than likely has devoted lots of resources to the Chaos operation and cannot spare any more. And to give something away early, a later issue will feature this chase again, which will end with Eggman discovering something that'll shift his priorities in terms of major projects. The scenes with the Freedom Fighters crashing into the forest serve the purpose of setting up a 2-issue story arc featuring Sonic, Tails, and the one responsible for their crash, the identity of which is revealed on the cover of the next issue. The story gets a 6. This is overall a good ending for our heroes and their adventures in Station Square. I cannot say I'm a fan of the art. As I said in Sonic Super Special 13, Ron Lim is a fine artist in other books, but he's not a fit for Sonic. And this is where he'll start making regular appearances in the main series. Next time, Sonic and Tails will face off against what's obviously another robotic Sonic. However, this one has history with them. We'll find out more in issue 86. Well, it seems Big will have to wait about 129 issues before he moves to Sonic's home.